Hey you geeks! I read the Dragon Prince's graphic novel, Through the Moon, the first book with pages I've read in a year.
Not a very good reading, prefer being out of doors. I can read, of course.
Also, I never really got into the whole graphic novel thing. I've picked up The Dark Knight Returns and Volume 1 of Witch, and I only finished one of those. Even when I was content-starved for Avatar: The Last Airbender, I waited until someone else summarized those books on YouTube so I didn't have to read them. Now I'm paying that forward. Here is a brief summary, then review of Through the Moon, breaking down characters, world building, and storytelling. Spoilers, of course. Summary. We begin with an odd sequence. Rayla sees her parents and her uncle, adoptive father, Runan. Then Viren, who she last saw falling to his death. He threatens to add Callum to his collection, and she wakes with a start. Then we see something truly shocking. Rayla in pajamas. Orange pajamas. Callum awoke her because Lujane invited them to Fifi's rebirth ritual at the Moon Nexus. Fifi is the Moon Phoenix who flew Ezran to Zadia and died. Sorta.
She is going to be okay. She's a Moon Phoenix.
Ezran and Soren are coming too, leaving Opeli in charge of Katalis. Rayla is spooked by the dream but agrees to go on a vacation to the Cursed Caldera.
I'd like to spend my vacation at the library!
There we meet Lujane and her new man friend who builds scaffolding for Lujane's illusions. Crew assembled, we cut to Fifi's rebirth ceremony, where Lujane gives some very meaningful exposition. Rayla's Viren anxiety spikes and Fifi is reborn. Ezran now has a new cute animal friend to play with. Inspired by the magical ceremony full of new life and rebirth, Rayla goes off to sulk that her parents and Runan are dead. Callum, because he is wonderful, goes after her and tries to comfort her. You'd think he'd help since both his parents are dead, but Rayla says it's not the same because she doesn't know what happened.
I'm alone in the universe, so alone in the universe.
Because Callum is too good, he feels guilty about the fight and talks to Lujane, who tells him he should absolutely not use the Moon Nexus to contact the land of the dead, and that white lies are okay. Unsurprisingly, Callum and Lujane's man friend restore the Moonhenge to contact the land of the dead and lie to Lujane about it. Though Rayla, who has to be overly dramatic, insists that she has to go alone, and she does. To her surprise, but not the audience, the only dead people to confront her are the team she abandoned back in Season 1. Their issue is quickly resolved when they see that Rayla's second bracelet has fallen off. Then she runs into Viren in an Erebos-style cocoon. It's very freaky and she gets trapped by the souls of the dead. Callum jumps in after her and with a little help from Fifi's magic feather, they save the day.
Dance, we kiss, we schmooze, we carry on, we go home happy. What do you say?
Then Rayla, based on a hunch, runs off to search for Viren. The end. Characters. This is really Rayla's story, and it builds off her existing insecurities, but cranks them up to 11, unraveling some of the closure brought in Book 3.
They saved the egg. We're here and Zim is alive. All because of them.
Seeking closure about her parents and Runan feels true to her character, but her paranoia about Viren feels contrived. True, they never found a body, but she's never gotten so worked up over a dream before. Callum is usually the one who has vision quests.
Your conscience is a messy place, boyo.
So we're stuck with her gut feeling as this story's driving force. Though she did have a really nice moment with Soren, she also gets some closure about her assassin nature. But overall, her visions just leave her with more questions than answers. The other characters are there as well. Callum is the only other one with anything resembling an arc. He goes from not believing about Viren to believing about Viren, though he's never given anything more than Rayla's visions and her instincts. He really does love her to support her just off of that. Meanwhile, Ezrin gets a new animal friend. Soren hits stuff and Lujane has a new romance. Is she going for more husbands or just crashing men's lives without the decency of joining his family first? Anywho, the human has a big sword.
Well, I certainly hope that wasn't your biggest sword.
I do appreciate how the Dragon Prince has an ancient, respected mage character who consistently gives out bad advice. That is a fun twist. World building. We return to the Moonhenge and see it rebuilt. I like this return and wrap up of cool ideas from book 1. Now, new seasons can go forward and explore new lands without leaving too many loose threads. Also, the Land of the Dead is a cool concept. We have seen Ehaz send a young woman on a spirit quest while floating in a magic pool before. But the drawings in this book intertwine the Land of the Dead with the bottom of the lake in a very cool way that makes the final fight scene perfectly surreal. Storytelling. Unlike my normal plot section, I'm also going to talk about the artwork in this graphic novel. That is just as important to telling the story as the words on the page. The graphics were good. Not every pane was breathtaking, but it was a fair conveyance of the show's aesthetic. Also, the Kindle's single pane reader made it a lot easier for me to read without getting distracted by everything going on the page.
Squirrel!
As for the story, since the underlying motivation, Rayla's paranoia, feels slightly forced, the story itself feels slightly contrived. I also understand that these graphic novels have to get to the point quickly, so a vaguely threatening dream sequence plus teenage hormones is really all they have time to establish before barreling forward. Despite that, this story grows the characters in small yet authentic ways. Callum is wonderful and clever, Ezrin remains a boy king who is good with animals, and we see Soren still struggle with being the son of a villain. They each get their own small moments that show their natural growth between seasons. Though, that ending, Rayla running away, seems like that would have big consequences in season 4, and it will irk casual viewers. They will wonder, how did the perfect couple go from this?
'Cause I love you, Rayla. I really do.
I love you too, Callum.
To whatever new levels of awkwardness season 4 will bring. Then they'll be pushed to buy this book.
It's extortion, that's what it is.
And that seems like a cheap shot, even for Netflix. Overall, it was a fun jaunt, but I'm not gonna read it twice. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you would like to see more. Your patronage is greatly appreciated.